What's that?
It
I
was.
thought it was
She said it was the year
You went
before.
from
The year
14 to
before,
20.
the year before it went to 20, and then it went to 25, and they were I think they had been asking for more that they, and I think it's that they, but it's a yeah everything has gone up in price, but it's
Did you get the balance on that one account that we gotta do by the end of the year?
I will send that to you in an email.
but when I was looking it
I
over,
think we're
it looked
done
like
with
everything
it,
was the same.
with
That
the
amount was
7,000
the only thing that
telemetry.
that I
pump did
couldn't
it?
say for sure, but
I think
think
so.
that's what it was.
Okay.
But, it was either last year or last year
You
they
need
were
a
saying we
blanket?
needed more, but that wasn't in the budget. So
Put
if
your
you
coat back.
had to wait
Last
till
meeting you
next
wore your
year,
coat the whole
that we
time.
voted on the when we did the annual budget that that it was included in the next year.
Yeah.
But I can't remember whether that was
And I got a
this coming year or the next
CGM that
year.
goes in my pump, and it is insane how
How
well it works together.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is your what goes with the pump then?
I got the Libra 2 Plus.
The 2 plus.
I mean, do they
Okay.
make more
Which one do you got right now?
Well, I just
No,
today,
it's
picked up two
it's
and
just
out with the three.
Oh,
As
yeah.
far as that
I'm
is.
just
I'm
curious.
I'm not positive exactly
Yeah.
what they
Yeah,
based
but
it on.
just so I've been like almost
That's I think it's more is like how many fire hydrants, how many houses, how many residents that the potential.
You know what I mean? So she picked both of them up for me, so I'm gonna start back on it tomorrow.
Oh,
As far as
wow.
that. But then they told her that they're doing a freestyle Libra Plus. It goes an extra day. And I'm like, that's gonna screw up all the insurance companies because like it took me 2 months to get them to switch me from the what's the other one I had? No, it was the different style. It was the Dexter. I'm allergic to it.
Yeah.
So every time they would turn in the prescription for the freestyle 3, they would say, well, you already have a prescription for the other. So I had to keep calling. So they finally switched it over.
Yeah.
But I think when they come out with the freestyle Libra Plus, I'll have to find an insurance
Crazy
company
day.
again because it's a different one.
Yeah.
Probably so.
I didn't know what they were
So the one that you have, does it communicate with your pump?
I have one.
Oh, you don't?
No, I used to use Red. I used to use.
And then all of a sudden,
Oh, yeah. You should get a pump.
I
It's a game changer.
don't trust. I don't trust this
it
stuff.
disturbed everybody, so I run to the back.
I've had one for a long time, but this one that I just got, it communicates
I'm
with
not, because then the phone rings.
the CGM, so it kind of like controls itself. And if I'm having carbs, I have to go and look at how many carbs I have, and it is insane how like accurate it is. I would get woken up every night for low blood sugar. I would have to get up and
Okay.
get orange
And
juice.
is this
I get
for
woken
everybody?
up for high blood sugar once a day. That's why I didn't put mine in today because I want to sleep through the night before. And then like I'm trying to time too when it goes on. As
Yeah.
far as that goes, because that's when it'll go off the next time you have to change it. So I put one on at noon one time, and then I was in Indianapolis at the Inter meeting. The next time I had to put the new one on, so I'm gonna try and make it in the evening.
Yeah.
Like to a nice time. Do that in the morning.
So have you been fingerprinting or just not checking for the last couple
I've
months?
been using fingerprints
Okay.
like 6 times a day.
Yeah. Doing the old school.
Oh yeah, I've been on I feel sorry for our little kids.
Yeah.
Because if you know, if you have people with little kids in there for 2 months, and they don't know how to do that, you know what I mean? And so I've heard some horror stories about little kids and diabetes.
Yeah.
One's water and one's what's
Are they gonna explain this or are they gonna do it?
You know, watch your toes all run up.
All right, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order, and we're gonna start with the pledge of allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alright, our first one on here is gonna be the approval of the previous minutes. Did everybody get a chance to read through those?
I did good. I wasn't here.
Right, you did read it
Yeah.
then?
But I did read them
Okay.
that day.
I make a motion to approve this.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone use, alright, so I'll keep mine then.
Do I sign them anyway, even though
Yeah, you
I
approved
wasn't here?
it. Yeah, you approved it right now. so
Okay. Okay.
Okay, then we're gonna move on to approval of the accounts payable vouchers.
Alright. And that is in the amount of $197,112.53. And that is with the town's liability and zipping up the police protection and the fire protection and all the end of year things that go on.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we approve it.
I'll second the motion.
All
Oh.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Look at them, look at them.
Okay, then we're gonna move on to clerk treasurer's business.
Okay, so for the paper, what we usually do for the lighting, tree decoration lighting, contest is that we let everybody know about, the week that we are going to do it, just to keep your lights on. That way the town's pretty for at least a week. And, then we go out and we'll say who, is the winners in the Facebook page. And then, when do you guys want to have the end of year meeting? It needs to be as close as the end of year as possible. I suggest the 30th, but if you want to do it
Monday.
on the 31st, that'd be all right.
Monday the 30th.
Yes.
That's fine, man. Nick, you gotta be there on that one?
I normally don't go that one.
Normally don't. No, it takes like 15 minutes.
Okay. So we're gonna do it on Monday then?
Okay.
Monday
Is
morning.
everybody good with that?
with the-
About 9 o'clock.
Well, I mean, yeah, we all good with it? I mean,
Yeah, I'd say if Monday would be
Monday
fine,
is-
it just say, yeah, just need to know what time.
Monday,
9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. We usually have it in the morning.
that's fine.
Okay. So which one? 9 or 10?
I don't
Let's
know
make
how
it
late you
10.
be.
10.
10.
Okay.
And then the only other thing I have is the township wanted me to present the contract for the fire department, and nothing has changed from last year. So we just need to sign 2 copies.
2 copies.
Yes, and I've
Do
got
we have
them
to
here.
make a motion for that? Making a motion to approve this?
Yes.
Yeah.
I make a motion that we approve this, contract with the fire department.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 You got a separate
And
one?
yes,
You got
here's
that
2
one?
copies.
Okay.
Just a second.
one. Township, town council.
Isn't it the top one, town council button?
Yeah, town council, not town board.
Shoot.
Just scribble it out, it'll be fine.
Here,
I seen you
I
do
have
it.
another one.
I would just see town, blah, blah, blah. Been a long day.
Initial it next to it so it looks like a check.
I'll just white it out. Sorry.
Didn't have my glasses on.
Well, don't sign my name.
And is that the front copy for her, or
My
Yeah.
copy. Oh,
that's,
oh,
yeah, that's,
okay. Sorry.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I messed up.
had the holes in it. Missing the staple.
That's all I have.
Okay, and we're gonna move on to fire and township business, which the contract was in there, which we just signed. I don't think we have anybody here from the fire department, do we?
Nope.
Nope, okay, so we are going to move on to attorney business. Nick, I have two things for you, but I will let you start off. How's that?
That's fine. I think a good place to start would be with the mural project. Susie and I and Amy, there's a memorandum of understanding it's in the works, that has not been signed yet. Miss Stevens, I was told you wanted there to be some changes about the agreement gets reassessed every 3 years. Is that right? Okay. I added language in here, and it now reads, says the parties agree that once every 3 years after the mural is completed, there will be a meeting between Mr. and or Ms. Stevens and a representative of the town council to discuss the mural. Said meeting shall occur at a location and on a date and time that is mutually agreed to by the parties. Does that work for you? Sure. Okay. All right. So then if that's all good, I don't know if there's been a motion made yet to authorize Susie to sign the memorandum of understanding on behalf of the council. But if everybody's in agreement with the agreement, I think there should be a motion made for her to have authority to sign that.
Okay, I make a motion to have Susie Klingfelder sign that for the town of Etna Green.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right.
What?
Right.
Wait a minute, let me check
The
where
only
you're
wrong
signing.
copy.
It says print name and then signature.
Hey, let her borrow your glasses.
Maybe, yeah. We put these. I wear two in my welding hood, so I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Hey, I've had a Monday on a Tuesday before.
I got my copies too.
There is 12 Mondays a month, isn't there?
Was it this month that there's
Blue, it says
5?
here.
Or this is the month that has some weird ones where there's like four Saturdays, 4.
Oh, yeah.
It
Right.
has a Friday the 13th.
He said 12.
Oh, not 12. That's getting a little carried away.
I think every one of them have a whole.
Maybe we can just give it to her and she can take it home and the two of them can sign it. And bring it back and give it to you.
Do you have to? You don't have to
Some
witness
months
it.
there's more.
No,
Well,
no, that's
that's
okay.
another good
You want to talk to her about it after me?
She's coming up.
So there's signature lines for you and for your husband, since you both are owners of the property. I don't know if you want to take it home and sign it
Yeah,
and
I
just
can-
give it back to Susie.
Yeah, and I can run it.
Okay.
You have-
Okay.
No, we don't want that.
Yeah, don't put. Yeah, we don't want that on the paperwork.
Oh, one thing to point out, should I see that again?
We're supposed to wait till she signs it anyway.
Yeah,
I was like, what is he doing?
right. So there's a section on here that says, Mr. and Miss Stevens agree, consent and grant to the town of Etna Green and any artist selected by the town the exclusive right, basically to put the mural there. And and we just had this left blank. I don't know an amount of time that you want.
Isn't I don't mean to change the subject. Isn't the mural protected after the artist does it?
There's copyright protection, yeah.
Okay. I'm just because I mean that's the way this mural is over here too. I mean it's protected until he has to do something with it. So I mean I didn't know if that was.
That's in there, isn't it?
Is it in there?
Yeah. I think
There's
it-
language in there
Yeah.
along those lines, yeah.
Okay.
But I think this is more so if a couple decades or something went by and the town said, we now want to take that down, and you got the artist's permission to do it.
Or the artist died. Well, seriously, I mean that's just part of it. I mean,
he died at
Yeah.
60.
oh, Ray, he's a younger guy. Yeah.
I was gonna say, he's a lot younger than me.
Right.
I might not be around, but.
Okay. All right. Well, we can talk about that later.
Alright,
Thank you. All right. This is kind of on the same topic. There's an ordinance that was prepared to create a fund for donations to the art mural. Did I send that to you, Patty?
No.
Okay. Susie, did I? I know I sent that to you, right? Did you print that off by chance?
I did.
Oh, okay.
She
You're
saved
on
the
it.
day.
Oh,
Well, good thing I did my work
Yeah.
today.
Somebody's on it.
Was that one of your sticky notes?
Thank you.
No, I got rid of like 5 of them today.
So this is pretty simple.
That was the
Amy,
thing I was talking to you about.
Amy might want to speak about that. Basically, that's saying that there's going to be a fund to open up within the town so that if people want to make donations to go towards the art mural, there's going to be a specific fund for that. So that's
Well,
what that.
It's more for the grant purposes. So the actual money that's coming in for donations is coming in through the Josh Hartzell through the Friends of Etna Green.
Okay.
But this and Trisha has agreed to graciously help us because Patty almost killed me. But Trisha's gonna help us set up. This is more for when January hits and we have to write grants that would have to come into a fund here. So we have
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
So this is gonna make everything come into here then.
For anything related to grants.
Anything? Okay.
And then once the money is all obtained from the Friends of Etna Green, that would be a match fund. So I don't know how to do that. We just figure that out. So, because the grants will request a match, and we'll have that match fund sitting in a nonprofit. So, but this just helps us to get this done, and then gives Patty a large amount of time. Patty, Trisha, and I a large amount of time to get that set up before we start applying for grants in January. So, I wanted her to have as much time as she possibly could. 'Cause
This is a huge sticky situation. You can get into a lot of trouble.
So we just need to make sure
If you don't
Trisha
do it
helps
right,
us.
that is.
Yeah.
So.
So Trisha's gonna help us. We've got smart people.
Yeah.
You've already read, have you read?
Yeah,
You've read it, haven't you?
I saw the one from,
Myra.
yeah.
Yes.
So.
So it's similar
kinda
to Myra,
know
and I
what-
had Myra double check it
Okay.
just for purposes of making sure that I had her say, hey, is this what works? Because she's done the grants and she
Yes.
said,
What ordinance
So that
number
would be
that
2024-04.
I make a motion, we accept the ordinance number 2024-04.
I second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, I gotta sign it. first.
and then whenever Patty
gives it to you,
gets
takes it
together
away,
with
gives it
Trisha,
to you,
whenever
takes it
we
away.
want to.
They're gonna
I'll bring pizza.
Okay.
Dash what?
And then 04?
What was the number?
04.
Yeah.
04.
04.
I printed that off, Nick.
Yeah, I'm happy you're prepared.
Doggone it.
Patty's like, dang it.
Do you need a copy of that?
I will get it
If
to
you
Make
can
a, just
scan me
a scan
one,
a copy.
That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, another quicker thing, there's been discussion before about easements for the IMPA stuff, and I've talked to Heath about this recently. Both of those are still in the works, neither of them have been signed yet. The easement for Gulfstream, that one is pretty slowly working through the process. The one with the walls, they have an attorney, and she's communicating with me, and he's been working with IMPA
I've
on that.
called IMPA this week and went over it with IMPA as far as making some little changes to it to try and make them happy with it, as far as that goes, so that we don't get into a legal battle like we talked about.
Yeah, so that one's closer to the finish line, but both of those are in the works. There's a salary ordinance that was talked about last month. I haven't prepped one of those. I don't know, Patty, did you prep one of those for 2025?
I didn't, it, I didn't have any clarity from the council, so I just didn't
Okay,
prep it, yeah.
okay. So I think that should be put on paper and passed sometime. Do you need something signed before the end of this year?
It's supposed to, or it just reverts back to last year, so,
Rollover,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
which
So
I mean, we can modify it any month we want to, but
mhm.
I didn't have any clarity.
it's not like nobody's gonna get paid at the end of the day after the first of the year, because it'll roll over until
yeah.
we make changes later on, or it'll be in effect until.
Okay. All right. Then yeah, if we don't need to do anything with that, that's fine. I just wanted to put that out there. And I'll toss it back to you, Heath. You might have some other things.
The two that I have that I want to talk to you about is the cross connection ordinance. That's been going on with our violations as far as what we got going with
Water.
with
Sewer.
the water and the sewer and that kind of stuff is IDEM as far as that goes. I kept once here. We need to have that taken care of. I know that Susie said she got a hold of you about that, so you've gotten copies of that.
Yes.
So we got to publish that or make it public for 30 days or.
Yeah. So what I was telling her, the process, if we want to pass an ordinance and there's some sort of fine or penalty that could result if somebody does not comply with the ordinance, before that can be passed, we have to publish notice and then do the public hearing. So that's what we had talked about doing, publishing notice and then doing the public hearing in January. The thing that I was realizing more recently, this topic was talked about early in 2023, and I know we did a public hearing at that time on it, and I couldn't find in my file whether the ordinance was signed by the council at that time. I don't know if, Patty, if you have any
I
recollection of that.
can look it up, and do you know about what month it was?
I think the hearing was in March or April of 23.
Okay,
The thing
I'll
is,
look that
we
up.
have time though. She's
Yeah.
aware of that, and I've sent email and talked to her as far as that, so she's aware of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the response letter that was sent in this
Sounds
afternoon.
familiar.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it was already done.
okay.
And I've looked at Commonwealth, they sent a draft ordinance, and I compared that with the draft ordinance that was being circulated in March of last year, and they look identical. I think
Okay.
it would accomplish the same thing. So that may already have been passed, but we can verify that.
So we just need to draw up a new one, sign it, and then we can send it. If
Well,
it's already been taken
No,
care of.
if it's already been taken care of, we can just send it.
Okay.
Send it to the state, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's paper trail that didn't get sent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that is the one there as far as talking to you about. The other one is in the water report that we got this afternoon. As far as there's a ton of stuff in here about all this stuff that we need to keep fixing as far as that goes. And in this one that we got here, it says the town needs to replace the existing unit with the unit that allows flow storage data and download capacities. So we have a piece of equipment out there that is not working properly. But if you go down in here and you read it further, what they're stating is that plants of this size are not required to monitor the influent flow. However, since there is currently a monitoring device listed in the IDEM permit facility design, is expected to be operational. So we need to fix it because it's not operational, it's not working. But Ashbury suggests that the influent flow metering be abandoned and a permit modified to reflect that there is no incoming flow meter as part of this plant design.
Take
So-
out, kind of like take out the
We're just gonna,
input.
if we take it, yeah, we have to change our paperwork, and I'm assuming that you're gonna have to do that, and then we take that out. So we will no longer be in trouble for it not working because the town of this size doesn't require it.
Okay.
So I have that highlighted as far as that, and I'm gonna give you this piece of paperwork as far as that goes. The other one that Ashbury keeps hitting us with every month is that, Ashbury would like to reiterate the need for the cafe in town to install a grease trap in the sewer line. we're spending money on, this degreaser, and it goes through our whole system. I don't
I
know,
did
did you
send it,
get,
yes.
okay,
I
so
sent it yesterday.
you did send
Yes.
that out, so that's, in response. I don't know if you need to do a letter like that too, or is it,
We can see what they will
okay.
address
I just
it.
don't know if we need to, so we're being professional, like if you need to back up that letter, you know what I mean, so that
Right.
we're doing that
But
properly.
did you give them
so.
any sort of date? Tell them that they have to have it by 30 days out?
30 days, yeah.
Okay. I would say we wait until then.
Until the 30
if they
days.
don't, then I can follow up with them.
Okay. And then I made this copy, like I said, I highlighted this part here. And then we just got the Ashbury. If you want the whole thing, we can get you a copy of the whole one report from this month. That's actually right there.
Okay.
If you want the whole thing, but that's the subject that we need to look at as far as that goes.
Okay. That'll be a project, and I'll have to do some educating on myself to do
Right.
that, but I can work on it.
Okay, and you can, I mean, if you call them, and I mean, they're stating this, if you have any questions, I mean, same deal, the phone number's in there with any of these reports, and they'll work with you as far as that goes.
Okay.
But I think that's a good idea. We have other equipment out there that's being popped in every one of these reports, the chlorination, the UV, it's all stuff that's in every report every month. And we got to start picking on this stuff just a little at a time, you know what I mean, until we get our grants, and then we can move forward and do the big repairs.
Right.
So.
Okay. Sounds good.
Makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. That's the end of that. We are going to move on to new business, and we are going to go to Amber of Baker Tilly.
Hi.
Now it's your turn.
You should have 2 copies. One is for sewer, one is for water. So I was here, it was September, October. I presented to you one of our utility check-in financial reports, and we had discussed of me going back to the office and preparing some rate analysis because there were some red flags for the utilities in regards to reduced revenues. We talked about that was due to, I believe, one of the large users not using as much, as well as increased costs. So that's what these are. So I'm just gonna high level discuss our findings. Obviously these are just our current suggestions, what the map is telling us, and then you all can digest it over as much time as you want, and then we can regroup to see if or how you guys want to move forward after I explain these to you. So I'm going to start with the one with water. So it says Etna Green Indiana Municipal Water Utility, so I'll start there. And these are small reports because we actually had majority of the work done with that check-in report. So this just goes a step further to review the financials and to really calculate if any rate increase is needed, how much. So on page 2, and this is a schedule that we include in those check-in reports as well. So it may look familiar to you. We're just calculating here, and we use a test date as of September 30th. So here is just telling us what were the account balances for water as of that date, as of September 30th, compared to where it should be. So you can see there the account balances at September 30th, total about $155,000 for water. I looked back the last couple of years, that total is down about $33,000 from year end 2023, and that 2023 was down about $33,000 from year end 22. So the past 2 years, water has seen pretty major decreases in cash, and that's the purpose of doing this, because we don't want to see that trend continue. However, if you compare it to the minimum balance recommended column in the middle there, which is a total about $77,000, water still is above the minimum balance recommended, but what we don't want to happen is get to those minimums and then you guys fall below those minimums, because then it's of course difficult to get back from the minimum. So right now, cash balances are okay, but revenues minus expenses are in a trend we don't want to see. So this is what this page is telling you. If you move to page 3, this is the current utility capital plan that we've included in those water check-ins, and I sent it to Patty to kind of give one glance over at it as well. And I know, Keith, you mentioned, Asbury sends you suggestions on maybe things that need
Mhm.
fixed or anything.
Right.
If there are major items, we definitely want to include that here, because if you are planning to, and I know you said the town is looking for grants, and that's great, but if
Right,
there
right.
are major things that the town or the utility will need to fund via rates or cash on hand, that does need to be built into your rate structure so your rates can afford those major.
Right, we do have
projects.
a big IDEM one that needs to be taken care of now.
Okay,
So,
okay.
I mean, we do have one that's on the water side.
Okay, so if there's anything not shown here that will majorly affect this, what I would want is to get that information from you and rerun these figures before you moved or decided to move forward on anything. So maybe we can have a follow-up call later this week or something. I can chat with Patty on that. But anyways, what we have here, we kind of like to list out 5 or 6 years of plans. We just have some unforeseen capital items, 10,000 a year, well rebuilding, tower painting. So that comes out to about 38,000 a year in capital improvements. And so that number you'll see on the next page is what we're building into the proposed rate structure. So then if you turn to page 4, this page is basically our calculation. The top half of the numbers under revenue requirements are what does it take to operate the utility in a year. So first line is your annual operation maintenance disbursements. That is about 196,000. We took that number from one of those check-ins report we prepared for you early in the year. However, we did increase that number due to the new Asbury contract. I believe it increased about 2,000 or 3,000 per utility per month. So we did inflate that number because the previous number we had in one of those check-ins report had the lower contract number. So now that that is increased, we did increase that. And then right below that 196,000, you see that annual capital improvement amount of 38,000. We do back out your other receipts of about 2,000. So your net annual revenue requirements are what it takes in a year to operate the water utility, both capital and operating disbursements, is about almost 232,000. So then we compare that figure to what you've been bringing in revenue side. Customer sales, penalties, fire protections, that total from 2023 and 2024 as of September is pretty on track, well on track with this number as well, is about 157,000. So you can see there's a gap there. And that gap has resulted in those decreasing cash the last 2 years. So that simple math does flag to you that a rate increase is needed in order to not only fund your operating disbursements, your higher Asbury contract, and about 38,000 in capital a year. And that amounts to just under 50% of a rate increase, that math. The percents always sound way worse than the actual dollars. So if you look down below, the change in average monthly residential bill for your residential user would be about $20 with that rate increase. So again, I do want to gather more information from you on, is that 38,000 a year in capital enough? Is it too much? Do we need to kind of review that? But just what the math is telling us is that water does need a rate increase to reverse or stop the trend it's going towards.
Mhm.
The last page then is, with that rate increase, what that rate structure would look like with that just under 50%. And I do note there that at the very bottom, the water did adjust rates in 2022, but it actually adjusted rates down because there was a legislation that got rid of the utility receipts tax. So you reduce your water rates by like 1% because you had to. But the actual last rate increase for water hasn't been since 2014. So it's been 10, 11 years. We normally suggest a rate increase at even just an inflationary amount every 3 to 5 years. So water's pretty overdue.
It's been 10 years.
Right.
And I mean, a lot has happened in the past 2 years, 3 years. So water definitely should look for a rate increase in the near future to reverse those trends. Now, of course, I can't remember in the past if you guys have phased in rate increases, but you certainly could phase them in, to spread the impact to customers over time. I would wanna look at the financials to make sure, if you spread it over, a year and a half, that's not too long. A lot of communities will, though, whatever rate increase they move forward with, split that between 2 or 3 phases, sometimes over a period of a couple months or 6 months each phase. We could review that as well if and when you guys want to move forward.
It all makes sense. I don't think it's anything that's not expected or wasn't or
No.
knew wasn't going to happen. I mean, gas prices have gone up, grocery prices have gone up, so I mean,
We need to do it. We got to pay for things.
right, and we need to change our chlorine system. You know what I mean? There's other stuff that we've got coming up here that's going to have to happen. We can't keep doing it old school. So, but then again, that's something that Ashbury pulls out too, that we might save money if we get rid of the chlorine system and start going to some of the newer systems. But we still got to pay for the equipment to do that. And I mean, we've got issues right now that we're going to have to take care of, and we will discuss later on in this meeting. So,
But basically 3 years down the line, we're going to be at the big break-even point where we're at the minimum if we don't do anything. That the way the trend's going.
Yeah, and we don't want to get to a point where, water needs, big projects and needs financing, but, we didn't raise rates and now we're in a point where financials are so bad, we can't get financing and, because that obviously turns into a disaster. So that is water. Sewer is set up the same exact way. So I will, on page 2, overall here, sewer is actually pretty well above where it should be, and it's actually up cash balances from calendar year 2023. Sewer's finances have been looking better the past couple years. Pages 3 and 4 are simply sewer's outstanding debt. So page 3, you've got a bond for sewer that isn't paid off until 2036. And then page 4, that is a temporary loan that I believe that electric gave sewer in 2020. That is finally paid off to electric in March of 25. So that is almost maturing. Page 5, again, this is that capital page that I would really love for you guys to scrub and provide thoughts or changes here. We've had less in sewer. I know you guys are working with Commonwealth, looking for grant funding for certain projects. Anything that is going to be paid by rates or cash on hand, we really want to include in this analysis. So maybe take the next week or two to review this. Maybe talk with Asbury if they could provide any thought. Because if it is more than about 10,000 a year, we want to make that change here so we can update our proposed rates to you guys.
okay, but we don't really have any quotes or any paperwork on what these costs are going to cost, because that's part of the grant process. As far as that goes, we're going to see what grants are available. In the meantime, we're trying to do mini upgrades, and then, like I said, when we have IDM violations, they have to be done immediately as far as that goes. So we're in that process too. But there's on the sewer side, like I said, it depends on what we get for grants, and we really haven't started going out and because there's a lot of repairs that do need to be made and upgraded. Like I said, there's bearings and motors and pumps, and it adds up. I mean, we bought a spare, and it was $10,000 for a spare pump. You know what I mean?
We're still waiting on the Commonwealth to get back with us on some of that.
That process hasn't even started yet, as far as that goes. We're in the process of the getting everything set up, but we haven't even actually started going out and pricing all these items that need to be repaired as far as that goes. I did get an email today that our survey is not going very well. So we had, was it 7 people sent it in and nobody
7
else
people sent it in,
responded out of
Not yet.
however many. So
35.
we've got to get people here in town to cooperate to help with that. So that's a challenge. It's going to be coming up. Somebody's going to have to go around and knock on doors and talk to people. So we're in the process and we're trying.
Yeah, and you know, it doesn't need to be exact quotes. And anything grant or finance with a loan or future bond doesn't necessarily need to be built into your rate structure right now.
Okay.
But if you look at this and you know something's missing or ballpark, you just know, 10,000 a year is too low.
I don't know why the 20,000 in the Ford F-350. I mean, that should be a Chevy, shouldn't it?
That's,
Anyways,
But,
Oh, he.
so,
that 10,000 should be really 30,000 a year. That's gonna change our numbers.
right, it is gonna
So,
change, yeah.
okay, maybe just give that some thought and ballpark. And if it is too low, obviously, it's not to say.
So numbers you're saying for 2025 is that we're just gonna spend $6,250. That's what we're looking at spending improvements.
That's just what we gathered from you guys when I sent this to Patty and said, what's the utilities plan capital improvement?
I think
for the
that
next 5
number's
years?
way off. Then.
That was before the whole Commonwealth blow up.
I know, but I
yeah.
mean, just with
I'll get
one
you some
one
numbers.
replacement pump, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
was 10 grand. So I mean, that blows just for last year. You know what I mean, as far as that goes.
Right.
So I think we do have some numbers that need to be adjusted as far as that goes. I mean, when we start getting into bearings and stuff like that on some of these drive units up there, it's not going to be cheap at all.
Okay. So if we do increase that a little bit, then what we show on the next page will increase.
Okay.
So if you can give those thoughts or even just ballpark numbers in the next few weeks, we
Okay.
can quickly get you a new report and get new numbers. But anyways, assuming about $10,000 a year for capital, here's what we have on paper. So you'll see, again, same setup. Top half is how much you need to operate the utility. Bottom half is how much you're bringing in. And you'll see there's two columns under current operations. The left-hand column says temporary loan outstanding. So that is the number because you're paying electric $20,000 a year. However, the right-hand column is when that loan is paid off, which is very soon. It's in 2025. So I'm going to focus on that column because I think if I suggest to move forward, it would be for that column since that loan is paid off very soon. Because it removes 20,000 from your annual operating requirements. So you'll see there, the net annual revenue requirements is about $273,000. So that's what it takes to operate the sewer utility, pay the debt, and that 10,000 capital year, which we know might be higher. Compared to your annual receipts of about $247,000, there's only about a $25,000 shortfall, which amounts to a pretty inflationary increase of about 10%, or $7 to your average customer. Sewer did have a rate increase, went through this process, I believe it was 2020 or 2021, and did adopt an inflationary increase. So that was about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So we're pretty on track with that 3 to 5 year suggestion. And since then, your Asbury contract has increased. Again, your gas has increased, your supplies have increased.
Right.
So that 10% is about to be expected. Now, if there are major capital improvements we need to add to these numbers, that 10% could be higher than that, of course. And then the last page is just if that 10% happened, what would be the proposed rates in your rate ordinance?
Basically $1 more.
Yep.
So I mean, 937 and it goes to 1034. So I don't think that's.
Any questions?
I don't. I mean, I know we have a lot of stuff to do. You know what I mean, as far as that goes, and we're in the process of trying to get there and trying to put out all the little fires. So.
So I will follow up with Patty then later this month to see if you guys have been able to give any thoughts, and then you can digest the information and then decide at one of your next meetings how and when you want to move forward with a rate increase.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, very much. Well, I guess if we're done there, we'll go ahead and move on to Amy. You got anything, or we already did your
I
stuff?
think we already did it. So,
Already did that.
I guess just as a point of reference, there's a sponsor letter in the Hartsville BBC quarterly newsletter. So, if anybody could share that, that would be great, so that we can get some match money for the Etna Green mural. Thanks to Corey for putting that together and for Josh for making it happen. So, I think I sent that to you, right, Patty? So, we have the date as December 31st because we have some of the grants that are due in January. So hopefully, stating this out loud again, people will start putting money. So Josh has graciously agreed to be the collector of that money for us in the nonprofit Friends of Etna Green. So he's keeping track of everything for us, and so that is a key piece to being able to apply for the grants that we did the lovely fund for. I did have a conversation as well with Justin recently, who is receiving a potential honor that he doesn't know about yet, so I can't really state, but so I won't say the details, but he's very excited about it, and he called me and he's excited about it. But the proposed thought process, which I want to get out there in the air waves, is that maybe we can have the celebration for the mural and the beginning process on 4th of July weekend. So I don't know if that would be seen as like a conflict with the other fun events that happen, or if it would be seen as something that could be.
I don't see why we couldn't put that in if they'd be a part of it.
Yeah, so that's because Justin said he'll actually be here over 4th of July weekend, and so if we can get all the details put together and that still works for his schedule, then we'll look at doing that fun kind of reveal, ribbon cutting, whatever it is that we're going to do for the mural at that point, as long as everybody's in agreement, because I know that the Lions Club, I believe, has a big festival in the park, and there's like a parade or something that happens, correct?
Parade, car show,
all the fun
vendors.
stuff.
That's
I mean,
on the 4th.
On the 4th, so
Yes.
maybe it could be like something another day or something, as long as it's not. So we're moving forward. I appreciate everybody and their hard work for moving the ball on this, and Susie's been very helpful, and Nick too, to be able to do all those things. So everybody's been working, keeping Heath and Patty busy as well. So thank you guys. So hopefully we will be able to finish get the match we need and get across the finish line and have a really fun celebration over summer. So that's where we're at.
okay.
And then do you want me to talk about the other stuff, or we're not going to worry about that?
Which stuff?
The park stuff.
I got a whole list of stuff. I'm working on that. We're gonna do that next month.
Okay, cool.
I'm started on it. I got with Chris as far as that goes, and we're going over stuff. So we're getting there.
Perfect.
As far as that goes, yeah. No, it's fine. It's moving forward. It's moving forward, and that's a good thing. And it needs to move forward. It's got to be addressed and all that as far as that goes. So, okay, yeah. So let's move on to I've got what's concerned citizens. That's scratch that.
Yeah, scratch that.
Scratch that. Okay. So that is off there. Okay, the next new business thing that I have, which is a really big thing, as far as that goes. We lost Brian here in town. As far as all the stuff that he did for the town and everything. Richard has stepped up as far as that goes, and he's really been helping out. He's been trying to do everything that he can as far as that. And I'm going to make a motion that we hire Richard full-time as our full-time laborer as far as that goes. So like I said, I make a motion that we hire Richard McManus for a full-time laborer for the town of Etna Green.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi. Thank you.
You've been proving yourself, Richard.
I'm trying.
There's some details as far as that we got going on with insurance stuff. I've sort of already talked with you about that. Is we got to get that sort of stuff taken care of, and there's a waiting period until that starts and everything. But I really appreciate, everything that you've been doing for the town as far as that. You have stepped up. I mean, I talk to you every day. So we know what's going on, and things are moving forward with the town. And we're taking care of stuff a little at a time. So.
I do have a request.
Okay, here we go. It's gonna be a new mower. I can't get you a new mower yet.
Well, I mean, that is one, but not the one that I wanna focus on
Okay.
tonight. I need some more training, please.
Oh, you're gonna get it as far as that. But it's gonna be strictly all the stuff that you got here in town. We're not throwing water on you. We're not throwing electrical. You know, I already had that discussion that, you know, you watch what you touch when it comes to electrical as far as that goes. But yeah, you need to get trained in the meters. You gotta get trained in all your locating.
The training for the meters is coming on, or meter reading is coming on, the 23rd, December 23rd.
Okay.
No, that's GIS.
Oh, GRS, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Right, right.
The
GIS.
meter reading will be on the 19th.
On the 19th.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, you got start studying. So.
Merry Christmas.
There will be a test afterwards.
Yes, there will. And she's got a paddle if you don't pass. So you know.
I got plenty of them.
Okay, the next one that's going to go sort of in accordance with that is I've talked to Bruce Tedero. He's filled out some stuff, and he's going to help us if we have a snow emergency as far as that goes. So, do I need to make a motion to put this one into effect, Susie or Patty, or is it just?
What kind of contract do we have?
But
We're gonna have with him.
It's just an
It's just
event,
gonna be 1099.
right?
He's just gonna be 1099. So
Okay.
he's gonna be contract.
So,
So I don't. Do we need to make a motion on this since it's
Just
Gotta
for
be
purposes
contract.
of keeping a good record, I would do it.
okay. All right. I make a motion that we hire Bruce Tedero just for snow plowing in the wintertime as far as a backup for Richard. As far as that, if we get a ton of snow like we used to, that we have somebody there as a backup.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
And he'll do your snowplow training too. So. All right. The next one is we're trying to clean up all these IDEM violations. We sent in the paperwork today as far as that goes to IDEM stating when we're going to get all these projects fixed. One of these projects is the well down at the trailer court. The siding is in very bad condition, so we got popped for that as far as it's in violation. We're also, she didn't catch it, but the roof needs replaced. The eaves are leaking as far as that. The door is about ready to fall off. It will not lock unless you jerk up on it really hard as
In other
far as
words, you
that
need to
goes.
replace the building.
I've got it here.
That's it.
I've got it here as far as that goes. I got with Millwood Roofing on that, and Lyndon has gotten back with me or whatever. I have this contract here as far as that goes. Me and Patty have sort of talked about it as far as that. If you guys want to take a look at this, it's $22,000 in order to all new steel roof, all new flashing all the way up to the access window on the top, all steel flashing down the sides, and a brand new door to put us back into compliance. And this building should last us 20 more years as far as that goes. We do have some,
probably 50.
right? It might, because we're going to do steel. So if the kids want to throw balls at it, they're not going to break the skirting. They're not going to hurt anything as far as that goes. So I want you guys to take a look at that as far as that goes, and we need to move forward with that so that we can stay in
Now we do need
compliance.
3.
I thought on that one we didn't because it's an
22,000.
item.
I think we need 3.
That would be above. Or at least, have you reached out to companies and asked for quotes and they were not
I've
responsive?
gotten a hold of this one here. Now the other two that we have to look at are unresponsive situation as far as that goes.
Okay.
So
Yeah, for this,
I
I think
can get you 2 more people to
okay.
get you a quote.
So we have that one, and then I mean, do you have any suggestions on who you're looking at or who?
We always go to Steel Ridge because he's really good with the town. And construction, I can't think of them.
I have a copy of that. Why don't you take and keep that copy right there, and let's
Okay.
make sure we're comparing apples to apples
Okay. you
as
got
far
it.
as that goes. So as far
That's
as
a good
what's
idea.
called out on there, as far as that, because I mean, I see quotes and this is quoting this and this is quoting
right.
that, and that's not fair if it's not the same thing.
Well, yeah, each person sees a different thing though. But yeah,
Right.
this
As far as
will be
because
good.
like that one, I mean, they could get the price down on it if we don't flash the window to the top. But if they're gonna do it, let's do it all at once. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna reiterate that they're gonna put ice shield down. They're gonna take it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
As far as the quality of work that company does. So I just want to make sure that we're getting apples to apples.
You got it.
And same thing with, you know what I mean? I did get a quote for the bandstand out here, and it's the same thing. It's one of the things where if we got somebody that just puts new cedar shake on it, you know what I mean, and doesn't put ice shield down, well, that's a big difference. You know what I mean, as far as that goes, as far as the fascia and stuff like that. But that one's not as concerned as what this one here is. So we have until that was in the paperwork that we sent to IDEM as far as that. I think that has to be fixed by the middle of the summer. We have to have that done. As far as that is what we told IDEM.
Gary's got
That's
the shingles
feasible.
for that.
Yeah.
That's very
He's already got
feasible.
'em.
So, well, we don't want to do that kind of work in the wintertime, anyways. I don't want to.
But we gotta
Nobody
get
does.
through the estimates and all and get
bandstand.
ready for it,
Right.
get them in
Gary,
line.
Gary Baker's already got the shingles, cedar shakes. Probably in his building back there. I don't know. He said he already had them, but I don't know where they're at.
I can get with Gary and see where they are.
Right.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
The next one then is these 2 quotes for the walkway report out at the sewer plant as far as that goes. Susie took care of getting these quotes for out there as far as that goes. The quote that I want to move forward with is the temporary repair of the one section of walkway out there that we had an operator fall through, and it had a patch put on it. The temporary patch was that they're talking about, and I called and talked to him again today, is $2,400. The other one is the vent for the chlorine room, which is a quote of $675, which is one of our IDEM violations as far as that one goes. WeFab did not quote the ductwork for the chlorine room, and their overall first option is $12,000. The first one with the water treatment plant with Craig Welding is $11,000. We're not interested in replacing it right now. I just want to see a patch put on it so that our operators are walking across that scaffold or that decking and nobody falls through. So these 2 here, like I said, are the ones you guys take a look at as far as that. The ductwork we need to move forward with on IDEM as far as that goes, for that chlorine room for the fan. That's another one of our violations.
Well, isn't that the duck or the catwalk that we could possibly just remove that it did?
No, we can't remove it.
That's
I've been out
that's
there,
not
right.
that one. There's one. I know there was one of them that IDM was complaining about, and it could have been eliminated.
It could be eliminated, but in order to use the south ditch, you would have to walk all the way to the middle, walk up, walk all the way back down, and that's how you come off the south ditch is that one to the other. It needs to be fixed and it needs to be repaired. I've walked across it. I think you've walked across it. I know Richard walks across it. You know what I mean? And Josh fell through it as far as that goes. That's why there's a patch in the middle of it. And I just want to see this taken care of before we have an injury. I mean, when I walk across it, I hold onto the railing and walk along the edge. You know what I mean? It's that bad. You can feel the floor move. It's not safe. And I'm not looking to rebuild it.
2 quotes for $2,400.
What's that?
Do we have to have 3 quotes for $2,400?
If you reached out to 3 places and you only got a responsive quote for 1, then that would be sufficient.
We reached out to 2, and only 1 sort of quoted what we asked for. The other one is not even interested because
one is 10,000.
No, we're looking at this second option.
Just the
second
second option.
Just the
Okay,
option.
and that's it. Then this is not.
That's a complete cut it out and replace it is what they want to do. And when I called and talked to Craig, I explained to him that when we get our grants, we're going to rip those out and we're going to replace them all.
We don't need to be doing
we don't need a major.
Yeah,
we just need
we
a
don't
patch.
want to toss out brand new catwalk.
No, we just need a patch so that it's safe for a couple years so that we can move forward and nobody gets hurt.
Do you need these back or give a Patty or?
You can give them to Patty if you want. I would like to move forward
So
with
do
the
we have a
one.
motion for the $2,400?
I make a motion that we do the 2,400 with Craig Welding as far as that, and we also purchased the ductwork to fix our IDEM violation at the chlorine room to move forward with both of those projects as far as that goes.
The 1,200 and 675.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get 2 of those off that.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Richard's gonna say thank you, and so is Josh.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody wants to drown in that thing out there.
No.
Nobody wants to fall in.
No, It stinks, let alone drowned in it.
No matter how big of a tube before you
Okay, now we're gonna move on to old business as far as that. So do we have anything to look at there?
You wanna talk about insurance?
Yeah, that's all you.
I've been looking into our insurance, and I first contacted the Miller Insurance at Bremen that we have now, and he pretty much wasn't giving me much options. He said if you got under 10 employees, you have to go with an age-based insurance plan. So he said last year, Patty, your insurance was 2209, and I can't even read my writing. It's either 7 or 9.94 a month, and he said next year in 2025 it's going to be 2325.49 per month. So it's going up just because you're a year older.
No, it's only 1,500.
No, that's what he's telling me.
Well, I pay
He
a
pulled up the
bill of
policy.
1,500 every month, so
He pulled
I
up
don't
the
know.
policy, and that's what he told me. So anyway, and he said that was the single coverage, and we could drop that down $600 if you cut out. I mean, if you raise the deductible, because right now I think right now you got 2,500 to 3,000. He wasn't sure which one, but we could raise that to 4,000. That would cut $600 a month off of that. Or if you cut out the life insurance, that'd be another 50. We could take off that. So the single coverage, if he was looking at the policy in the computer, that's all he was saying. He said it was going to be $23,25.49 a month. So that would be $27,905.88 for next year. I have talked to Jared Limbach down at AIM Medical Trust down in Indianapolis, and I've got a Zoom meeting with him on Thursday. But he was giving me a ballpark figure. He said you go with those age-based insurance companies, and those plans, they're the highest when they do that. But he said he gave me a ballpark figure of $1,000 a month since Richard was just hired to be the 2 employees. And then I went even farther. Well, for Richard on the plan, the age-based plan, I asked him, your wife doesn't work, does she?
No.
Okay. And he said that would be $1,500 a month to add her to that plan, so it would be $2,500 for you and your wife. So then I went to Health Markets, and I talked to her this afternoon. I mean, it was a silver plan, and it would be for both of you. That she says it'd be the individual plan because she says that's the cheapest way to go, and it's with a company called Am Better, and this is a new insurance company in Indiana. But she's been using it, and she said it's great for what they charge. The copay would be $25, and then if you go with a specialist, it'd be $45. But it would be a max $1,950 out of pocket, and then after that it would be 100%. And I think I thought I wrote that down, but maybe not. Yeah, 25 to 3,000. So that'd be even less. And it'd be $3,170 a month.
But is that comparable to what we've got now?
She was looking at it, and she said the $1,950 would be out of pocket, the copay, and
31, that's double what you've
And
been
he's-
paying.
now she said, Richard, for your wife, it would be cheaper for you to add her on there. It would be $68.02 a month for both of you. So it'd be $99.72 a month, or $1,196.64 for the whole year for the 2 of you. But that's an individual plan. That's not a group plan, because group plan's going to be more. So that's kind of just some figures I've got. They had 3 different plans. The one quote would be $31.70. Second quote, $40.19 a month, or the third quote would be $47.78. So I need to dig into this more. That kind of gives you an idea. But she was suggesting going with individual plans because of the group
Yeah,
plans are so expensive.
I'll give you my wife's phone number. We'll just settle this right now.
Good man.
Now I am meeting with Joe Follimer in the morning at
Yeah.
9:30. He's with AIM, and he knows that I sent the information to Jared to get us a quote.
And he's gonna know all the things about
Yeah.
it. Because there's another town that will need
I'm gonna take this with me too.
unnamed, but yeah, insurance is really important to understand all the
Yeah.
what's related to all
But
of
she
the
said
things.
it would be, I mean, it depends on she said I'd be both in Casasso County. I don't know what that has to do with it, but it's based on the county. And it would include all the doctors. You wouldn't have to worry about that.
I wasn't kidding about getting email eyes from you. I'm dead serious.
I had to help him program his phone today, so I know he's not.
Oh. Now I know where to go.
Thanks, Heath.
I think it's smart. I mean, every company I ever worked for, they review insurance plans at least once a year.
Oh,
Once
yeah.
a year, oh yeah.
You know,
Yep.
Because if we can get something more or less expensive.
Yeah.
For a comparable coverage.
I didn't have
As
time
long
to
as
get
as
into
long
it,
as we're
so
staying with the same coverage that they.
I talked to one insurance guy that he doesn't carry health insurance, and just the figures that I knew, which I don't know very much about it, I'm just talking Patty. He thought they were a little high. So, I mean, it never hurts to look around.
no. And I'll get on their website and dig into it more and see what all it covers. And
And I would check with Ambetter just to make sure that the hospitals take the Ambetter. I actually used Ambetter once, and I don't remember, there were specific facilities that wouldn't take it, and I don't remember which ones it was or not. But
That's
she
a
can,
very good point.
yeah, as a point of
Yeah.
reference, not that I'm involved in this,
Right.
to connect to the if I'm allowed to speak. I just know I did Ambetter with when I had to do the marketplace, and I don't remember where it was that I could not use it. It was good for when I could use it, but then there were places that I could not, and I
Okay.
don't remember which facilities.
and I can check with her on that
Yeah,
too.
just to see if there's like exclusions as far as like which hospitals that can do for.
Well,
Right.
the
doctor's
Ambetter has
offices.
different levels of insurance coverage: the bronze, the silver, the gold. Because Robin and I, after I left Donnelly's, that I needed to get insurance, that we went with Ambetter, and that she's still on it, that I'm now off, but but it was doing pretty good on paying most things.
Yeah.
Which beat the heck out of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Yeah.
That
It's something.
they like to stab in the back and twist the knife.
I am also not a fan of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
The what?
I am also not a fan of Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Well, they all try to get out of paying anything. So
No,
it's
I mean, insurance varies so widely, you know.
Yeah.
The cost and what they provide and everything. But if we can get something comparable to what we have for a cheaper price, I mean, we're stupid not to.
I want to be fair to the employees, but I don't want to be unfair to the town.
Yeah.
So
Well, yeah, it's the common piece of money.
yeah.
Because that's part of their pay package is the insurance that is the benefits is part of their pay.
But Miller didn't give me the option of individual plans. I'm not sure why, but
Didn't want to lose the money.
Yeah. it all boils down to money.
Joe will
matter
be
what.
really helpful. Joe will
But
be
it's
really
we'll have to see. Yeah, get those quotes firmed up and
Yeah,
let's
I'll get
take
on
a
their
look.
website. I didn't have time after I come home, so I'll get in there and dig in and find out what all.
Yeah, that is it. That's
I never heard of them, so.
Ambetter.
Mhm.
Neither had I until they went and saw Michael Sweeney over in Warsaw.
Oh,
Okay, so we're gonna move on to employee comments. You got any comments, Richard? No, you can't have a new lawnmower.
I know he, trust me, I'm
Okay.
painfully aware.
I know.
Well, if you can't have a new lawnmower, how about a new, utility vehicle to drive around
Right,
town?
right. It was a joke. Okay.
No, I'm serious on
I
that
know.
one.
I know.
I'm dead serious on
I
that
know.
one.
We gotta get Patty to cough up that money down there. So
Even the-
you better start bringing her donuts or something. I don't know.
That's
cheaper to buy
your
goats or sheep or
I
something.
got high heels so they can't fall through.
Right.
I do have a question. Are we keeping him at 18 an hour?
No, he's gonna move to, it's $25 an hour, isn't it? Or is it $21 an hour? You tell me that one.
It's 24.
24.
Yes.
Okay, so it's $24 an hour. Yes.
And I think you need a motion to.
To start with the full-time pay
Yeah.
of the 24?
Yeah.
Okay, I make a motion, we change his pay to $24 an hour, starting,
Tomorrow.
when do we wanna start this at?
Tomorrow.
When he's full time.
Okay,
Tomorrow.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Merry Christmas.
No, Patty owes me a Christmas gift.
We did.
I think we owe Patty a Christmas gift.
Yeah,
Yeah, hold on there, it did.
I mean, chocolate.
Okay, so is that our council comments? Do we have any council comments or anything like that? Anybody else?
Anything else? I don't have anything else.
Just Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yep, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Get those lights up.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's see some lights.
I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting.
Second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, shoot.
Okay.
Who motioned for that? He.
You guys had funds that you had to spend before the end of the year, right? Have you done that?
I think that's me.
Very good meeting.
Who motioned for?
Me.
Who motioned for the adjournment? I'm sorry. He.
I did.
And then who seconded?
You have a recording.
Huh?
You have a recording.
I do have a recording, but I like to put it down here
Okay.
too.
See you later. Good luck finding that light.
Thank you.
Thank you for
You got a
bringing me
good sense
over.
of humor.
Yeah. I gotta make a phone call on the outside,
Okay,
so
okay.
whenever you're ready.
Do we have dueling reporters tonight? Is that what we got going on? Oh, I was wondering because so you're both from Ink Free?
No, I'm from the Todd Union.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we usually share stories with this.
Oh no, you guys need to be completely different. So we get two sides of it.
Yeah, not today.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Nick just asked me the money that was in the one account that we had to get spent.
Yes.
The pump took care of all that, correct?
The pump and the telemetry. Do we have the telemetry coming?
The 37. Oh, you mean the stuff for this?
$7,000 to for everything to go to the well house to be read?
That is putting in Wednesday because they were going to do it. I just
Okay.
talked to Josh about that today. They were going to do that before, and it was raining, and they didn't want to mess with electrical in the rain.
It should be all gone.
You get shot. Good.
Yeah.
Where's the bravery around here?
You get shot.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
I'll try to leave you alone.
You're not doing too bad.
Merry Christmas, Nick.
Everybody says I'm doing great for how long out I've been. So it's got a long ways to go.
I didn't expect you back
A lot of
already.
rehab, more to do, outpatient rehab. They had me 3 weeks in rehab, which normally is, they say is usually over there at, that place, they usually have people there from 6 to 10 days